Good morning, grade 5 learners. I am Teacher Angie, your teacher in English 5, quarter 4, week 8. Our most essential learning competency, writing a feature article. This is also our topic for today. Introduction. Writing skills is an important part of communication. Good writing skills allow you to communicate your message with clarity and ease other than to talk it out. Why do you need to write? Is it good to put your ideas into writing? The primary reason for writing is to communicate your ideas with others and to stimulate interest from the readers. You also write to reflect on your experiences and to learn from them. When you write, you are either writing for yourself or you are writing for others. This week's lesson will help you develop your skills in writing a future article. After going through this lesson, you are expected to write a future article. Development. One useful writing material is a feature article. Features are more in-depth than traditional news stories and go beyond providing most important facts. The purpose of these stories is to provide a detailed description of a place, person, idea, or organization. Features are not meant to deliver the news firsthand. They do contain elements of news, but their main function is to humanize, to add color, to educate, to entertain, and to illuminate. They often recap major news that was reported in a previous news cycle. Often feature articles are about giving information of human interest, teaching an audience how to do something, entertaining people from different walks of life, suggesting better ways to live. Stories in newspapers and magazines other than straight news stories, editorials, or advertising. A type of expository writing that requires students not only to write a clear informational piece, but also to present material with a personal and convincing angle or twist. An article that is a window into the human experience. Highly creative, effective, and engaging article. Here are some tips for writing a feature article. 5 simple tips in writing feature article. Know your reader. Decide whom you're targeting. Picture the reader in your mind. Know your end goal. Know what you want to happen as a result of your article. Explain why the reader should care. Don't make the article all about you. Make it relevant to the reader too. Share your information. This is the nuts and bolts of what you want to say. Anticipate questions. Be proactive. Anticipate and answer those questions. Some possible formats may include introduction. Start by describing a dramatic moment and then uncover the history that led up to that moment. Body. Use a story within a story format, which relies on a narrator to tell the story of someone else. Conclusion or good ending. There are 7 types of feature articles. Note: most feature articles have elements of more than one kind. 1. The human interest feature. This type typically reports on someone's success in spite of great odds. It may recall a tragic predicament. 2. Personality feature. The subject of the article may be famous or not so famous, but has done something of interest to others. The personality feature is very much like a character sketch. 3. The best articles. The Courier Journal has a column that publishes reviews of the best products of all kinds. This type of article usually includes the writer's personal experiences with the product. It includes proof and examples that the product is the best of its kinds. The news feature. This type of article brings a human interest focus to breaking news. It adds personal involvement to what may otherwise be a distant, seemingly unimportant event. 5. The how-to feature. This article explains how to do something, usually a complex process that most people would not know how to do. The article explains the steps of the process in enough detail so that another person can do this process. 6. The past events feature. The article typically includes research, but is not like an encyclopedia report. The article serves as a human interest story lesson. This type of writing usually puts a human face on history. In other words, it lets the reader know something about the people who were part of history. 7. The informational feature. This type of article shows insightful coverage of a topic. The article often refers to source of research, but is not like an encyclopedia report. Instead, the writer makes a personal connection to the subject and includes his or her voice. Here is a sample of a feature article. The title is The Finest Festival in Lucena. The Pasayahan Festival in Lucena is an annual festival that promotes tourism held in the city. It began on May 28, 1987, under the administration of the officer in charge, Euclides Abside, and former Bureau of Internal Revenue Office Chief, Aguinaldo Abside. This is a week-long celebration in the streets of Lucena City, and it is usually starts on the first day of the last week of the month. This is in time for the celebration of the feast of Saint Ferdinand, Lucena's patron saint. There are some sign shops of bazaars, performances of local bands on different areas of the main streets, food stalls, colorful Flores de Mayo, and the Grand Parade, which is held every 28th of May. Other activities are Chami Festival, Mr. and Miss Pasayahan, Chami Eating Contest, Gandang Lola, Street Dancing Competition, Parade of huge and colorful floats of the participating companies and organizations with street dancing and marching bands. This symbolic festivity of the said city honors the cultures and traditions of the Losenahin. Questions. What is the title of the feature article? 2. Does it have an introduction of the topic? 3. Do all the sentences talk about the topic? 4. While reading it, can you imagine the events taking place? 5. How did the writer end his article? And 6. What type of feature article is it? Engagement. Learning Task 1. Directions. Read the feature article, then answer the questions about it. Do this in your notebook. Niyegyugan Festival, the best of Quezon Province. Quezon is one of the best places to visit every August, when basking on the beach is often a no-go activity due to monsoon rains, and the province steadies the spotlight on food tourism and its top product, the coconut. At the Niyugyugan Festival, the province's 39 municipalities and 2 cities fill the capital grounds with coconut-themed booths that turn the city center into a merry town of well-crafted coconut huts. The week-long festival is held from August 16 to 26. The 8-year-old festival was launched in 2011. It was originally a gathering of some coconut farmers selling their products, making a unique presentation of their respective booths that gets better every year. The aesthetically pleasing booths are a potent sales boosters for local farmers and entrepreneurs. Locals and tourists needs not travel for hours to each of Quezon's town to have a taste of all its famed delicacies. Booth hopping does the trick. Questions. What's the title of the feature article? 2. Does it have an introduction of the topic? 3. Do all the sentences talk about the topic? Number 4. While reading it, Can you imagine the events taking place? 5. How did the writer end his article? And 6. What type of feature article is it? Learning Task 2. Directions. Below is an example of feature article. Rearrange its parts and write them in a correct paragraph format. Do this in your notebook. Learning Task 3. Directions. Write a feature article about any of the given topics below. Organize your ideas following the format. Use the following rubric below as guide standard in writing a feature article. Surely, you shouldn't miss the celebration of culture and Thanksgiving, so come and catch the spirit of the people of Lucena. Enjoy the company of happy people because it's more fun in Lucena. Lucenahins are naturally happy people and they share it to other people. One proof is its annual Pasayahan Festival. Showcasing the colorful culture of Lucena, Pasayahan Festival is a week-long celebration held every last week of May. Originally intended as 3 days of merrymaking in the streets, the event has become a week-long tourist attraction, culminating on May 30 in time for the celebration of the feast of Saint Ferdinand, the patron saint of Lucena. Lucenahins and even those from neighboring towns enjoy the festive mood of Mardi Gras. People goes out of the street to try delicious delicacies that can be sold at the Quezon Avenue, the main street of the event. When you pass by this street, you'll not let the moment without tasting the sausages, Pepsi, and mouth-watering street foods. Other products of Lucena are available at the night Tiangue. Some of the products that can be sold are native products, personalized merchandises, home decorations, and colorful clothes at low prices. Music of the live bands add merry atmosphere as well. One of the nights during the week-long celebration showcases the beauty and glamour of the Lasanahins through the search for Ginoo at Binibining Pasayahan. These ambassadors of the city showed the people of the city are really talented and witty. The Senahins await the parade of colorful gowns during the Flores de Mayo. These gowns are designed by Lucena's best designers. This is also a way to honor the Virgin Mary as the Queen of Flowers. Another feast highlighting the entire celebration is the Chami Festival that features Lucena's very own pancit delicacy. It is a contest of cooking the most delicious chami and the chami eating contest. And to culminate the celebration is the grand parade that flourishes the street of Lucena. People from other towns enjoy watching the colorful floats, which show the prominent products of Quezon, particularly from coconut. Lively street dancers entertain the visitors as they draw around downtown Lucena. Meanwhile, beautiful festival queens never fail to make the people wow when they show up in the parade with their colorful costumes and props. Learning Task 3 Directions. Write a feature article about any of the given topics below. Organize your ideas following the format. Use the following rubric below as guide standard in writing a feature article. An abandoned building which was the only mall in the city during the 90s, a forgotten place of happiness of yesteryears. A fur baby who patiently awaits her human to come back. Think rubrics for writing a feature article. Idea explanation, coherency, grammar, capitalization and punctuations, handwriting. Excellent. 5. Thoroughly explained ideas, extremely coherent writing, few errors, used correctly, shows evidence of time and effort. Good. 4. Ideas explained, coherent writing, some errors, few errors, regularly shows evidence of time and effort. Satisfactory. Ideas somewhat explained, somewhat coherent, Many errors, some errors, rarely shows evidence of time and effort. Learning task 4 directions. Write a feature article or story based on the conditions below. 1. Imagine that when you arrive a little late for school one day, there was no one there. The gate was open. Bags were scattered everywhere, and the classroom doors were wide open. What do you think must have happened? 2. In 4 to 5 sentences, write your second paragraph stating realistically possible explanations for everyone's disappearance. 3. Stretch further your imagination and write your third paragraph citing unusual explanations for everyone's disappearance and end your paragraph with how you feel about the event that took place. Assimilation. Now, recall what you have studied. Are more in-depth than traditional news stories and go beyond providing the most important facts. The purpose of these stories is to provide detailed description of a place, person, idea, issues, or organization. A good feature article has a well-written and assessment. 1. Write a feature article story about a topic of your choice. 2. Remember to use simple, clear, and vivid descriptions of the subject of your story. 3. Give your feature story a title. 4. Observe standards in writing paragraphs. Use the given rubric as guide standard in writing a feature article. Reflection. Communicate your personal assessment as indicated in the learner's assessment card.